the current state of the music industry is shit, basically. Absolute shit. There's no money in it. You can't make any money in it unless you want to loop a whole heap of crap together on a computer. Music you loop together that you didn't write. Blurt out some crap about busting a cap in someone's ass and everybody else is a motherfucker. Then you'll get somewhere. But seriously, if you wanna write decent music and decent songs, it's just fucking ridiculous. I don't know. The state of the music industry is just a joke. It's a real shame because downloading's absolutely killed band sales. Bands just have to tour and rely on merchandise just to get through now. They get very little money out of what they do, musically, like recording albums. You just get nothing out of it, out of your hard work. It's shit. It really is. That's the only word I can come up with, is shit.
In a lot of ways, it's more fucked up than it's ever been before. And in other ways, it's never been better. In terms of the good, it's never been easier to release music independently. You can pretty much record and release a world-class song or album right from your own home these days. Obviously, you still need to work really hard at your craft for many years, but it is possible, and lots of bands and artists are doing it that way. So recording and releasing music has become accessible to anyone with a computer. There's no doubt about that, and that's fantastic. So I guess with the ability for anyone to put out music, you get this enormous influx of people releasing music, good and bad, and the whole world kind of gets flooded with new bands and releases, and I think the vast majority of it gets lost in this sort of sea of noise. I mean, there's something like 60,000, new tracks released to Spotify every day, and something like 100,000 songs released every day across all platforms. Obviously, that's across all genres, but still, that's a staggering amount of new music every single day, and every one of those artists is seeking your attention. So how do you stand out in this, vast sea of releases? It's a good bloody question.
I think you just gotta keep doing what you do because you enjoy it, because you love it, because we all love music. That's why we do it. Whether you fit in with the latest industry crap or not is besides the point. It's I only do music because I love it. It's part of me, and it always will be. I've never made a cent from music, but that doesn't stop me making music because I enjoy making it. So it's what I want to do. But whether it has a place in the music industry, who knows? Who gives a shit, really? As long as you enjoy doing it and you get, a couple of people that want to listen to it, you make them happy, then I'm happy.
All we can do is release, the best music we can and be as consistent as possible with timing of those releases. The release strategy is key at this point, and I think we're getting better at putting music out in general. It's actually a completely different ball game right now, and we're just trying to figure it all out, really. Adapting to what's new is the key here. I mean, even 5 years ago, our release strategy looked completely different to what it does today. In the past, it was all hands on, physical copies, lots of money involved, and lots of running around trying to get CDs pressed and running to the post office to mail out orders every day. One of the biggest problems for us is the fact that some of our past fans, have been reluctant to follow us over to Runes of Autumn, which really surprised, both of us initially. I think there are a few fans and people out there that are only interested if there are physical copies of our music to be purchased. And, I get it. You want something to hold in your hands when you open your wallet to fork out your hard-earned money. I understand that completely. And, I was like that for a long time too. And that may never change for some, which is fine. But for us at this stage, we can't do the CD thing anymore. Manufacturing CDs and even pressing vinyl and shipping it overseas from Australia, it's not a viable proposition anymore. Not for us anyway. The other thing is there's no money in writing and releasing music to streaming platforms. These days a lot of bands make more money from touring and merchandise. So considering we're not a touring band, we really need to focus on making good merchandise, I guess, and push that alongside our new releases. So if you want to support Runes of Autumn, by all means listen to our music. Stream it on whatever platform suits you and buy our tunes from Bandcamp. That helps us immensely. And if you like what you hear and you want to support us, buy our merch. That's even better. That sort of support just helps us out immensely. One other thing that does bother me a little at the moment is this desire or need for bands to make content. It's like everyone on the planet right now has a bloody podcast and is making YouTube videos and TikTok videos. And you're almost forced to throw yourself into that world just to try to get some sort of exposure. And the thing that bothers me the most is I end up spending more time editing videos and keeping our social media commitments going than I do writing new music. It's like we've shifted from being musicians over to content creators and video editors. And I fucking hate the word content and everything that it stands for. I think at some point this type of content creation mentality, this look at me, attention seeking mentality, this, let's just say something for the sake of saying it, or just make something stupid for a little video for TikTok for the sake of attention, is going to go away at some point, or lessen to some degree, because people are just going to get sick of it. Look, I think Dave and I, we're pretty similar with regards to this whole look at me mentality. I'm certainly not an extrovert. In fact, I'm the complete opposite. I'm much happier staying in my own little world, not saying a word to anyone and just getting on with what I really enjoy doing. But this idea of promotion and having to maintain a constant stream of content is exhausting. And at the end of the day, it does take away so much time from what we should actually be doing, and that is writing new music. I do actually enjoy the creative side of making videos, but I'm not going to make stupid little comedy reels for TikTok and Instagram just to stay in front of people, 24/7. Fuck that. Happy to do what we're currently doing, but I'm just not going to go down that road.
I'd have to say, in the current climate, no, which is pretty ironic because, back in the day, all you dreamed of was getting signed to a record deal. Getting that elusive fucking record deal, meant everything. But, nowadays it is really sad because I think the going rate's around, $1.10 for the artist per CD sold, which ain't much return for all the work you do. Look, I realise that a lot of people are going to get paid out of that, distributors, the artwork, people that run the label, all the marketing side of things, but for the performer that actually writes the stuff and goes to all that effort, it's just I just don't think it's worth it these days.
For us, at this point in our musical journey, I think we're much better off just staying independent. Obviously, there's a level of respect you garner from, being signed to a label, but I doubt there would be any real benefit financially for us. I've been listening to a lot of, music podcasts over the past few months, and from what I can gather, a lot of record labels these days won't even sign a band unless they have 500,000 followers on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. They expect that level of social attachment and interaction, and they expect you to do all your own promotion via that social media network. They also expect viral videos and a constant stream of high quality content from their signed artists. It's become hyper competitive, where you can be riding high 1 minute and then sort of discarded the next. And then there's the the 360 deals where the label takes a cut of everything you make as an artist. It just becomes a nightmare. And to be honest, I'm not even sure a project like Runes of Autumn would even get signed these days because we don't tour. I also don't think there is much artist development and patience from record labels these days. So no, independent for me, it's never been easy to put out music, and it's never been easier to self-promote to some extent. But on the other hand, there's a lot more out there for fans to choose from, and a lot more competitive noise to compete with. So it's still very difficult to grow a project like ours. But a record deal for us right now, I think it's highly unlikely.
Navigate. Look, I think it's just a case of hoist the sails and see where we end up.
I think we're kind of working that out as we go along. This is a whole new world we find ourselves in, and we just have to adapt and keep evolving our strategy. It's that simple. The opportunities are there. The platforms to release music are all there. The market's there. It's just a matter of finding that market and letting them know we're here. And then being consistent in terms of songwriting and release schedule, and hopefully we'll see some slow, steady growth over time. I'm much more interested in steady growth, of loyal fans rather than the idea of attracting a whole bunch of fickle fans who are here today and sort of gone tomorrow. And I think we've been pretty lucky in that respect through the years. A lot of our older fans, right back to the early, vaudeville days, have followed us right up until this point, which is amazing. And we appreciate it so much. In particular, our German fans have been absolutely amazing through the years. I think moving forward, we need to be, more aggressive in seeking out new fans. That's going to be the key to growing this project. We need to find some way to reach new people. The old method we used to use was sending out CDs for, review in various magazines and online sites. All that's gone away because we release our music track by track, but that was a huge help, if you received a great review, that is. In the past, most of the reviews we got were really solid, so it helped greatly spreading the word that way. So that got our name and our music in front of fans and in front of fans of the genre. So I think moving forward we need to find ways to reach more people. And at this stage I'm not 100% sure how we're going to do that, but we'll need to figure that out to grow.
Look, it's not impossible, but it's certainly not a thing I'd be leaving my job career for, to try and make a living out of music, because I think that's more a dream than anything else. Kudos to the people that can have that privilege. I sure hope they appreciate it, because I think we'd all love to be there. But anyway, look, in reality, there's not a lot of money to be made out of it, but at the end of the day, like I said before, it's not the reason why I do it anyway.
It is for some, and I hope that over time, as our music catalogue grows, that we'll start to see some real momentum. But it's always very difficult when you first start a new project from scratch. It's always going to be a struggle building a musical foundation and building trust in your fans again. It's not easy. But hey, it is what it is. It's a tough world out there, and there's so much competition, so many bands fighting for the attention, of the masses. And the masses have very short attention spans these days. Personally, I can't wait to start writing new music. I think I'll feel more comfortable when we start putting out music that's just purely Dave and I. Then we'll begin to see how and what this thing we call Runes of Autumn can become. Like I said earlier, there's probably more money in merch than there is in releasing music at this point, but you can't have one without the other. The music has to be good, and by good I mean like world class. It's still early days for us. We're still finding our feet, so to speak, and we're still learning how to juggle all these new and different elements in a world that's become completely different. It's a different industry, and we need to find our place in it. It might take some time to build a body of high level work, but that's fine with me. I'm super happy with what we've achieved over the past 10 or so months together. It's starting to take shape, and from here we can begin the real building process and see where this really takes us. And from there, who knows? The money might start to roll in gradually, and things might begin to gather momentum. We just have to keep putting out quality work and build our own little corner of hell, and I'm more than happy to do that. So we'll just keep plugging away and we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's another episode of Lifting the Veil. thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next month with another set of videos. If you haven't already, please check out our new track Supernova. You can hear it playing in the background. You can find all the appropriate links to our music in our Linktree link in the description below. Thanks again to everyone who has purchased music and merch, and thanks to everyone who has supported us through this journey so far. It means a lot to Dave and I. We'll catch up again next month with another episode of Lifting the Veil. Until then.